This is currently the most unhinged streamer on the internet. From paying models to undress on camera to physically abusing people for clicks, Mellstroy has done some very bizarre things for clout on his streams, which paved the way for trash streaming on the Russian internet. Despite his actions having almost gotten him jailed, and with many people emotionally distraught and physically harmed, it seems like Mellstroy cannot be stopped. My name's Ryan Pictures, and we're going to dive into the crazy world of Mellstroy and why he's earned a reputation as one of the most dangerous streamers on the internet. Andre Burim, or Mellstroy, always had a dream of becoming a popular streamer and making money online. However, instead of going down the typical route by streaming gaming content, he ventured into darker territory, streaming himself on Russian Omegle. This decision marked a significant and unsettling turn in not only Mellstroy's life, but changed the world of online Russian streaming forever. During these streams, Mellstroy would chat with random people, and as the conversation went on, Mellstroy would ask the people he met to do some questionable things in exchange for some cash on stream. And this strategy worked. In fact, it was so popular that in 2017, around 60,000 people were tuning into Mellstroy's streams to see what he was doing. However, a lot of what was happening on his streams was illegal, as many of the girls were underage. While it seems impossible for something like this to be on YouTube today, it actually wasn't that hard for Mellstroy to get past YouTube's policies at the time, as he would delete his streams after going live in order to remove the evidence. And surprisingly, his strategy worked for about 3 months. Mellstroy managed to steer clear of any penalties on YouTube, largely because the platform was relatively less strict to the display of nudity. However, the critical issue that YouTube took exception to was the fact that many of the individuals shown in his streams were underage people. Mellstroy couldn't get away with it forever, and he would soon be exposed by Russian YouTuber DK Inc., who made a dedicated video highlighting everything Mellstroy was doing on his streams.
Ну, чуваки, он раздевает маленьких детей, блядь! Серьезно, там девочки по 12-13 лет, он их раздевает и говорит, как он хочет их выебать. Господи!
Suddenly, a lot of people were waking up to the reality of Mellstroy's streams, and the public opinion around him shifted drastically. It even reached a point where the Russian government found out about the streamer's antics and decided to investigate him further. So, one fateful day when Mellstroy was attending school, law enforcement officers raided his apartment and took his computer for further investigation. Upon learning of the raid, Mellstroy decided the only possible course of action left for him was to flee the country entirely. For the next couple of months, Mellstroy would live in random hotels where he would continue streaming, constantly moving around to prevent the police from finding him. It was almost as if Mellstroy was taunting the police to come get him. However, the eventual outcome of his case came as a shock to many, because according to the law, Mellstroy's crimes could have led to imprisonment for up to 4 years. But instead, Mellstroy's punishment was far less severe. 3 months after Mellstroy had fled, the police dropped the case against him. Despite all the evidence, no one's exactly sure why Mellstroy was able to get out of this situation unscathed. Some speculate that his parents may have paid off the judges to protect their son from prison, but others believe that Mellstroy was let go because the judge was confident he was going to change for the better. But that obviously didn't happen. Instead of changing his content for the better, he doubled down and made it even more disturbing than before. And as a result of this content, he was able to get a couple of multi-million-dollar deals with online casinos for him to promote their companies. This influx of cash in Mellstroy's pocket would only make him worse, as his streams turned from paying people to engage in explicit acts to now hosting parties with friends and escorts. And in these parties, things would take degenerate turns. And to make these streams entertaining, Mellstroy loves to stir the pot. Mellstroy popularized these so-called trash streams, which would involve other people Mellstroy had paid to carry out degenerate acts on camera. He would often orchestrate humiliating scenarios, as he would turn people into laughingstocks in front of thousands of his viewers.
Казино стейк из-за невыполнения условий и невозможности адекватной работы.
His streams could be compared to Aiden Ross's sadistic torture streams, where viewers were forced to comply with Aiden's requests in exchange for large sums of money.
Just chew it, I promise. Jeez, there he is.
He's done. Oh God, he's done. Look at him. Yo.
2 minutes and then you're fucked.
Squirt in
No,
your
he's
eyes.
done.
Wait, don't do it actually.
Squirt in the eyes.
Except Mellstroy's streams were much worse, because Mellstroy would soon take things too far as the stream slowly descended deeper and deeper into degeneracy. During this time, Mellstroy began to feel untouchable. The money and fame had got into his head, and each of his streams began to get darker and more awful.
В своем детском мире то, что деньги нихуя не решают. Ну, блядь! Да твоя мать! Хуй сосать у меня будет, долбоёб!
Suddenly, Mellstroy was a young adult making millions of dollars every month, and as a result of the drinking and gambling on stream, violence and inappropriate behavior became a mainstay of Mellstroy's entire brand. Many of his streams included him sending over millions of rubles to female streamers, asking them to expose themselves live, and many of them had no option but to agree, with one of them being the popular streamer Saveta Solar, who received 1 million rubles or $11,000 to do what Mellstroy said.
Раз. Так, вместе с лифаком. Раз, два, три.
His streams got a lot of attention, and as a result, more fans would send money to Mellstroy for him to keep carrying out these degenerate antics.
Mellstroy воспринимает как собственность, которая по щелчку оближет пятки не только хозяину, но и всем присутствующим в помещении. И что самое...
Mellstroy became so popular that his online presence grew substantially, and he became one of the most recognized streamers in Russia. And to get that growth, Mellstroy would pit his friends against each other during these live streams as he acts as a puppet master, throwing his money around people and making them do things they would never normally consider.
Может отправить отдохнуть на месяцок.
On top of all that, Mellstroy was never a stranger to humiliating people in disgusting ways, whether it be by drenching them in urine or making them lick other people's feet.
5, 6, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It just goes to show that when you make this much money as a 21-year-old, without facing any repercussions for your actions, things are always bound to go wrong. However, everything took a turn for the worse in one of his streams in June 2020. The stream started out pretty normally, with Mellstroy inviting some of his friends over and a girl named Yana. The two had spent some time flirting on stream.
Давай вот боком. Вот так вот.
However, things took an unexpected turn when Yana's boyfriend, who had actually been watching the entire stream, called her and demanded she leave the stream immediately.
Можно будет?
А можешь вообще нахуй телефон выключить?
Смотри, Яна, давай с тобой мы договоримся на такую тему. Убери нахуй телефон.
Я его, блядь,
Пускай заряжается.
Выкинь его нахуй. Выкинь его нахуй.
Хорошо, выкидывайте.
Я ей дам деньги за новый телефон.
Mellstroy then began calling her boyfriend a cuck on stream, and while he remained oblivious, Yana's boyfriend showed up to the house where Mellstroy was streaming and tried to break in with bodyguards standing at the front of the door. Except the bodyguards didn't put up much of a fight. As Yana got out to talk to her boyfriend, he decided to attack her and everyone in the proximity before finally being escorted away. Even though at the time it seemed as if Mellstroy could pretty much get away with anything, he was in for a rude awakening pretty soon. On October 19, 2020, Mellstroy was streaming as usual at his apartment with a couple of friends, but soon, a new guest arrived.
Привет.
A model by the name of Elena Efremova joined in and began talking to Mellstroy about topics with which he was unfamiliar, and it seemed as if Elena was trying to assert her dominance in the conversation, which Mellstroy didn't take too lightly. Rather than calmly articulating his thoughts or counter-arguments, Mellstroy allowed his frustration to take over, which escalated into outright anger. Elena knew Mellstroy was getting very upset, but she didn't back down and instead dared him to come up with any sort of argument. What Mellstroy did next, however, would almost destroy his career. He violently attacked Elena, smashing her head against the table multiple times before pushing her away.
Ну просто кидай зеркала. Полный несет.
This attack left Elena with a broken jaw and serious injuries to her brain.
Настроение было буху. Ну, я просто уже не говорю про то, что она
рекомендовала наркотики.
Mellstroy showed no regret for what he did, even going as far as to mock Elena in his later streams. Understandably, Elena was upset and decided to sue Mellstroy, asking for damages of up to 10 million rubles, or approximately 100,000 US dollars. During the trial, Mellstroy continued to mock Elena, telling reporters she'd asked for too little money and that he would have paid if she asked for more. Elena would also post about her experience online, saying, "Mellstroy beat me up last night and publicly humiliated me in a stream. I just want him to be punished for this so it will not happen to any other person." While some justice was served, it was barely enough, as the courts found Mellstroy guilty but forced him to pay only 72,000 rubles, which roughly translates to $1,000, and the streamer was sentenced to 6 months of corrective labor. The whole incident also alerted the Belarus government about Mellstroy, and after a little digging, they found that Mellstroy had left Belarus and went to Russia without completing his mandatory army training. The Russian government was once again looking for Mellstroy to send him back to Belarus, but by this time, the streamer was long gone as he spent the next couple of years living in Dubai, Bali, Turkey, and now back in Moscow. However, the bigger punishment that came Mellstroy's way was a complete ban on all of his social media platforms, including YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Telegram. It appeared that it would finally be the end of Mellstroy and his trash streams. However, that actually wasn't to be. Mellstroy would spend the next 2 years trying out other platforms where he could shift his talents. He already had a large audience of viewers who would follow him wherever he went, so it was only a matter of which platform he would choose to stream on, and that platform was Kick. Mellstroy had found his new home, and a platform like Kick, that was already notorious for letting any kind of content slide, was the perfect place for this streamer. While the numbers Mellstroy has been able to pull on Kick don't compare to his older ones, he's still one of the most popular streamers on the platform. However, with an unlimited supply of cash coming in from online casinos, Mellstroy seems to always have a massive budget to pull off stunts that would help him get publicity. So he started donating large amounts of money to other streamers for them to shave their head while on stream. The first of his victims was a Russian streamer named Jesus, who got 5 million rubles or around $70,000 to shave his head.
Чё?
He would also pay $20,000 to another streamer called Kasha, who would, like Jesus, shave his head on stream. The only person who didn't accept Mellstroy's money was a Russian streamer called Brat Kashin, who stated that he wouldn't even do it for 40 million rubles, or around $600,000. So Mellstroy has a pretty good idea about what he can do to stay relevant, which is simply by buying people's opinions of him. And considering how much he donates to streamers, it would take a firm will to reject Mellstroy's money, which can often be life-changing for many people. A notable example of someone displaying this behavior is Elena Efremova, who previously sued Mellstroy after he assaulted her on a stream. Despite all the insults she had to face at the time, she returned to Mellstroy's stream just a year later, even sharing a kiss which Mellstroy posted on his Instagram story. The whole situation further signifies that while money may not be able to buy happiness, it's enough to buy out most people. But despite the stunts, Mellstroy was losing viewers and was averaging around 10,000 viewers per stream on Kick. Even though they weren't small numbers by any stretch, Mellstroy had always lived by one philosophy: go big or go home. So, to monetize his current situation, he began posting challenges on his Telegram, which offered payments as much as $300 for TikToks that gained over 10,000 likes on the platform. The challenge resulted in a large influx of videos and memes using Mellstroy as the punchline, quite like this.
Oh, miss, please, оплачу. Если хочет чупа-чуп, нужны деньги намучу. Она сушит намочу, так как самый лучший блогер.
These videos helped Mellstroy find an audience yet again, as the streams that were averaging around 10,000 viewers skyrocketed to 50 to 60,000 viewers per stream. But Mellstroy wasn't satisfied yet, and is always willing to splash out more cash for virality. Other challenges he posted included paying people millions of dollars if they could get someone popular to follow him, and this resulted in many people spamming MrBeast and iShowSpeed's comment sections. Despite hundreds of people getting in on the action and spamming comments in hopes of a big payout, some people actually have managed to capitalize on the opportunity, like Anis, who is a professional Fortnite player and a winner of one of MrBeast's challenges. Anis asked MrBeast to follow Mellstroy, so Jimmy obliged and even posted a video saying hi to Mellstroy.
Hey Mel, so I was told to send you this video saying hi.
I'm not sure why, but hi.
After that, Mellstroy sent Aisha Speed around $300,000 to follow him, and Speed did just that.
He just sent me f***ing 300K for a follow, man. Holy shit, bro. This dude is nuts, bro. He just sent me 300K. Send it to my boy, man. Fucking Troy, bro.
Even though Speed and Mr. Beast were extremely popular in their own right, Mellstroy would go even bigger, as he would get a follow from Drake.
Еще один гигант медиабизнеса в этом мире подписался. Это Дрейк. Champagne Papi, hello.
A video message from French football star Kylian Mbappe.
Hey, Mellstroy. Kylian here. Just want to say hello to you. Hope everything is okay. And I hope to see you soon. Ciao.
And even a shout out from the Lithuanian president. But he didn't stop there, as he would later reward a person with $3,000 after he got a tattoo of Mellstroy on his shoulder. Adding to the bold list of moves, Mellstroy sent popular Russian rapper Morgenstern $150,000 in order to stream together. Initially, the rapper was skeptical, but when the money actually landed in his account, Morgenstern had no choice but to cancel his plans and join Mellstroy's stream. This stream was one of the most popular streams ever, getting over 700,000 viewers and breaking Russian streaming records. More recently, however, Mellstroy has moved back to Moscow and immediately upon his return, bought a fleet of sports cars which made national news.